calling all Housewives fans. I'm sure you all remember Kelly Dodd from Orange County. She is to say that she has no filter is an understatement, and I sat down and talked to her this week. I mean, talk about says what she thinks and calls it as she sees it. It reminds me a lot of time I spent, with my mom. It's very, very unfiltered, and we covered everything. And I think you're going to enjoy it, and I think you're going to learn something about her. And also, we talk about working with her husband Rick because they now work together, and working with her relatives is something I can clearly relate to. So I think you guys, I just know my Housewives peeps, you are gonna love every minute of this. First of all, congratulations. You turned 50 on September 26th. How did you spend your birthday? I think I see a gift still in the background.
Oh no, that's for Monroe. That's for Jeff Lewis's daughter.
Oh, what'd you get her?
Fine. I just went to Zara and I just got her a bunch of winter clothes
Oh,
for, when I go
perfect.
to New York. So I got her some like little Ugg boots with some scarves and some outfits and some jackets. You just can get a lot there.
Yeah, super cute. So what did you do for your birthday?
So I went to my friend went to Essie and he has a beautiful house up in Los Olivos.
Mhm.
And I had Jeff and Vicky Gunvalson and some of my friends from grade school, some from high school, and we just went up there and did wine tasting. I love it up there.
Oh, it's
I
beautiful.
gorgeous. Do you go up there?
Well, my son went to Berkeley, so
Oh,
I have been up in there, plus I've been all through wine country and all that, but I love
oh,
Northern California, it's beautiful.
well, it's Central. It's by Santa Barbara.
Right, oh, it is? You're
Los
right, Los
Olivos.
Olivos is. Just was in Montecito, actually,
Yeah,
for a
it's
wedding.
beautiful. So
Oh,
yeah.
so pretty. It makes you go, "Why do we live here?" You do, you go up there and you're like in Northern California too, like Pebble and Carmel and all that, like,
Well, it's
"What
beautiful.
why do I live here?"
Right. But I lived in San Francisco for a long time and I didn't like the cloudy. I couldn't handle it.
No, but, like, Marin is so
Oh,
pretty, I mean,
beautiful. I love Corte Madera. It is gorgeous.
yeah. So we're getting so off track. What was your
Right.
best okay, and don't give me like, "Oh, just being with my friends." Don't give me that answer. What was the best gift you got for your birthday?
Oh, I got beautiful gifts. I got diamond earrings from Rick.
Nice, how
Gorgeous.
big?
About yay big.
Oh, so like drops.
Yeah. No, big round hoops
Oh, very nice.
on side and inside. And then he bought me a golf cart.
A golf cart? Why?
Because I just love golf carts. I have one in the desert. I have a house in Palm Desert, and then I live here at the beach in Huntington Beach, and we just pedal around Main Street, go to the beach, get grounded. I got some fabulous gifts.
That is because everyone always gives the bullshit answer, "Oh, it's just being with my friends was my gift." No, it wasn't. I
No, it
wanna
wasn't.
know what
No,
you open.
yes. I want presents. And
I
I
want stuff. I've just
exactly.
started, playing golf. My husband's a huge golfer, and I looked at him like, "I don't want clubs for Christmas or my birthday. If I'm gonna do this enough, I will get my own clubs. I don't want that. I want jewelry."
That's awesome. Don't you have that jewelry from your mom?
But it's not the kind of like, I lost all my what I call my everyday jewelry in the fire.
Oh,
So, it's the stuff that not the stuff that's in the safety deposit box.
right,
I'm
right,
not gonna wear my mom's, Cartier diamond, cuff. That's not really, it's the stuff that lives in the safety deposit box. It's the
right.
everyday stuff that you reach for. That's
Did
all
you have
gone.
it in a safe? Was it a
No,
fireproof safe?
no. It was just in my drawers because this wasn't stuff that I felt I needed to lock up.
Right.
And I
Right.
trust everyone in my house, so there was no reason, like your little necklace, like your little heart necklace.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't feel like I needed to put stuff like that in a safe. It's stuff that I would wear every day and change in and change out.
Right,
You know?
right. Oh, I'm
So
so sorry.
yeah, it's all your little earrings. It's all that kind of stuff is what I lost.
You lost all your photos, everything too?
Yep.
Oh my God, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
we had a lot in storage. I'm working with a company in London, and they call it a lockup, but, it's storage. So
Yes.
I like, but we're getting so off track because we're here to talk
I know.
about you right now.
I know, but you have so much going on, and so I'm so much interested in you.
Okay, well we'll get to that later. Right
Okay,
now,
okay.
this is about you. Okay, we best know you from your time on Real Housewives of Orange County, which was 2016 to 2021.
Mhm.
Two questions. Were you a fan of the show before? And how did you end up on it?
I was a fan of the show. I was. I when it first started, I was a fan of the show. And then I because I just got married, and I just found it very interesting. And I used to come to Orange County on vacations from San Francisco. So I was very, very intrigued with the Orange County Housewives show. And then I lived in San Francisco, and it just I there was a lot of homelessness and things that were just starting to get terrible, and I wanted to live here in Orange County. So I got a job working at the Orange County Register, a newspaper that because I did advertising before, and then I married this guy that ran, he was the president of Leapfrog Kids Educational Toys. I
Oh
remember those.
yeah, I remember Leapfrog.
Yeah, and so he was the president of that company for 10 years, and that's why I lived in Hong Kong and in San Francisco and all that. And then I didn't want to raise my daughter in that environment. And so I moved to Orange County, and I just became in this social circles, and I knew Vicky because we had the same facialist. And
I love
I
how we all get um it makes me laugh. Like, well, we had the same facialist. I mean, but that's everywhere. It cracks me up. How did you meet? Hair colorist, that kind of a thing.
Right, right. And I just someone just threw my name in there, and they interview everybody,
Oh yeah.
they interview everyone. And people are always like, "Oh, they asked me to do the show." I'm like, "Well, no, that's not how it works. You actually have to interview for the and you have to there's like if they don't ask you, they ask you to interview, but they don't ask you to be on the show." So I was getting divorced from that guy, Michael, and I got engaged I was married to this guy named Jeff, and they interviewed me, and it was between me and Lydia.
Hmm.
And Michael said, "I won't have Jolie on that show anymore." So they picked Lydia over me. And then I went back with Michael. Dumped that guy, and I went back with my husband. Big mistake. Don't ever do that. And then they called me again, and then they asked me to try out again. And so I did, and then I got the gig. And I think I really just wanted the gig because I got kind of turned down the first time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see, like, it was more of that, right? And then my first year was horrible. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not even getting paid anything to do this. And, social media was just kind of starting, and they didn't have like influencers back
Right. This
then,
was 2016.
2016. So,
Why was it horrible? Why was your first year horrible?
because they ganged up on me. Do you watch the Orange County Housewives now?
N Not now. By the way, I was hooked with the original season 1 super OG. No one had seen anything like this.
Well, yeah,
And
yes. Right.
that's where I started, and then I bounced in and out of all the franchises since here and there, but I'm not currently see, also, to be honest, Below Deck is my number 1 favorite reality show, and I spend a lot of time down Below Deck rabbit holes. So
I
right
do.
now, because 'cause we're in season with Below Deck, we're on Med, that's my primary focus. Let me just
I
leave it at that.
absolutely love Captain Sandy and Leah.
Oh, yeah.
They're
They're
phenomenal.
awesome.
I love them. And
Yeah.
I love Below Deck too. I love it.
It's so good. So, okay. So,
So
you felt ganged up on your first year.
I was totally ganged up on. I felt like I was targeted, and everyone ganged up on me, and I felt like a lone wolf. And the only friend that I had was Vicky. And then Vicky was kind of a lone wolf too. So we had each other. And then Vicky felt like she needed to be in the popular group. And I felt like I was alone, like nobody was there to like have my back.
So,
So
well, you became known for being, um, what's the word? Oh, that's right, combative. which
combative.
is what made you so incredibly popular on the show. You were called the real housewife,
Yeah,
which
I know.
is
Real.
hilarious because already we all know, and even viewers know at this point, the show is edited and stories
Totally
can be
produced.
now why the second season, what made you fight back? What was the moment that you said you've crossed a line?
Kathleen French took me to Bravo headquarters right there in Burbank, and by Universal Studios. And I said, I can't, there's no way I can do the second season. This is just isn't, first of all, it's not worth it. And I just don't, yeah, I just don't want to be on the show. And they, they said, okay, well, you have this opportunity to make this and this kind of money. And then I was in trouble in my marriage. And I'm like, okay, well, I kind of need this gig. So I'll do it again. So I went for a second season, and then the second season was a lot better than the first season. And then the third season was great. And then the fourth season was good. And then the fifth season wasn't too good because it was during COVID.
Yeah, that was
And,
very hard.
and that was very hard because I'm just so anti government telling you what to do. And
We're
that's with
gonna
everything.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to that later. I want to stay on Real Housewives for a moment.
Yes.
Are you
Yeah.
naturally combative, or are you more of a like I'm good until I'm backed into a corner and then
That's how I am.
watch out?
I'm good until I'm backed into a corner.
Now are
Like
you but wait,
I don't take it.
are you easily backed into a corner?
Yes, I think I am.
See, I'm not.
I think well, I don't start anything, but when somebody I feel like attacked, then I attack back. I mean, it's taken me a long time to like be able to walk away, not be able, just kind of shut my mouth. It takes a lot for me and I have to be conscious of it. And I don't want to be that way. I don't want to fly off the handle. I don't want to be combative. I want to learn how to have patience and walk away because I just feel like it's easier to be that way. Yeah, I'm naturally a
It
combative
is
person.
so not easier that way. I will totally disagree. I'm the one who goes home and goes, God, wish I hadn't been taught to have manners. Or I think of my like, oh, if I could have only said that. And
Right.
what happens to me is I not take it, but I'll let it go, let it go, let it go. And then it's like the next time I see that person, I'm coming in dukes up and they say one thing and it's game on, which is not a good way either. But it's not that I hold a grudge, but I remember.
Right, right. I get over things fast. I go from 0 to 100. I'm like a Jeff Lewis. I go from zero to 100 and then I cool down right away.
That's
And
like
I
my
keep
mom.
getting and whatever. I don't stay mad. I don't hold grudges. I get over things quick.
That was how my mother was. I'm more like my father, where I will seethe was the word they always used for lack of a better one. I with my father, we were the ones who would sit and seethe. And I sit there and I'm like, wait till I see this person again. They get one shot of being an asshole. At number strike two, you're dead. Yeah, a friend of my husband's is like, wow, you really hold a grudge. I'm like, no, I forgive, I don't forget.
Right.
That's
Oh.
very much how I am. Uh, what did we not see? What do you wish hadn't been left on the cutting room floor, and what do you wish had been left on the cutting room floor?
I think I think the producers really, really they have their favorites, and I
Yeah.
think Gina, I think is so boring. I can't stand the way she dresses. I never understood why she got on the show. I don't like the way she dresses. I watch these shows to be inspired by the way they look, by the way their homes are decorated, by the cars they drive. I like escapism. I don't want to look at everyday life like Gina Kirschenheiter. I'm sorry. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And there was a part where it just felt like she got away with a lot of stuff. Like they even bought her a outfit for the reunion because she just didn't have any money or taste or anything like that. And it was just kind of annoying. Like, why do I have to purchase an expensive outfit when they went out and bought her one? Like it,
Right.
I was on there. I just didn't understand it. And there was one part where she yelled and screamed and went nuts on Elizabeth Vargas, and they cut it out. And they didn't really show it's like they protect her. It's weird. And I'm like, why wouldn't they show that ugly side of her? No one's really seen that ugly side of her. Why are they protecting this woman? I don't get it. So there's things like that where they're like, they'll show the worst of me and they have no problem showing that, or things that weren't even on the show, like Instagram or things that were happening outside. They were trying to attack me and find reasons for me to be fired for things, not what I was doing for my job performance, but things that happen outside of social media and things like that. I feel like they like to target people, like just kind of like they're trying to target Gretchen right now,
Hmm.
trying to target Gretchen, and they're trying to find little things like, oh my God, she liked this post. And it's not about social media. It's about the performance show. And I think that's what's so irritating about the Housewives.
Well, it's irritating, but you've been doing it long enough. And I look at it as a producer, and you have to look at it as a talent on one of these shows. That means you're getting numbers.
Right.
They want, because, Howard Stern once said, with his show, they knew how, if they liked him, they listened to him for this long. If they didn't like him, they listened to him longer. So it's very counterintuitive that one thing that made you so popular on the show was that you were very divisive, and that so that's, did you ever get your head kind of around that?
Well, somebody chat GPT'd me, and I haven't been on the show for 5 years, and numbers were in 1.3 million. I
Mm.
understand when things go down and everything goes down, right?
Right.
On TV shows especially. But Lee Cohen said to me, said, it's not your performance on this show, it's the stuff that you said outside of the show, and that's therefore we're going to fire you. And it felt like political, like it was political. It was a political move of why it is a woke network. It is.
Hmm.
And, and and if they were really business people looking at the numbers, they would have kept me around,
Yeah.
because the numbers back when I was on 5 years ago were at 1.3 million. Now they're in like the 500s. And I'm not saying it's because of me. I'm just saying there's something to it. And they didn't look at those numbers. They just didn't want somebody that politically didn't align with their agenda.
Right. And for people who don't know, you were very outspoken about COVID,
Mhm.
and you took a picture in a baseball hat that said,
Drunk Wives Matter
drunk wives matter.
during BLM.
Right. So,
And they called
okay.
me a racist for that. And
Right.
by the way, I didn't buy that hat. I didn't sport that. Well, I had a baby shower. I had a wedding shower, and my friend gave me that hat, and it was funny. It was a play on words.
Yes.
Wise matter. It was strictly a joke, even though the BLM was a joke. It was
Really?
a farce. Well, yeah, I mean, it was a scam. I
You
mean,
really think so?
the lady was stealing all the money and buying houses and cars and didn't give
Yes.
anything the to the charity
Yeah,
that they said.
and when that came out, after that was obviously very controversial and a problem, but I do think on some level, and I'm a centrist, 100% centrist, and I like to say I'm purple. But I do think that there was validity to the um part of the movement that was about an awakening, an awareness of facing, taking a lens and saying, okay, look, we really do need to address things. And I felt that with Me Too as well. that, okay, let's start to have the conversation. The fact that this woman did that is horrific. But I
Right.
think that the original idea was important.
And I'm fine with that. I'm not at all discounting that. I didn't have any problem with it, with the BLM movement. I didn't have any problem with it. I mean, I have a lot of Black friends. I grew up with Black people. I know what their struggles are, and I feel, I'm Mexican, my Hispanic myself.
Really?
I've yeah,
I did not know that.
yes.
That's why
And
you're
so
so fiery. That's like with me.
well,
I get
actually,
I
so
I genetically want to be short, fat, and hairy. I am Russian and German and Jewish on both sides. I am genetically programmed to be able to dig a potato out of the snow and then pull the cart with my teeth. I am like a peasant. So
right.
it's so funny where like when people go, "What are you?" I'm like, "I'm pretty much short, fat, and hairy peasant." Like
Right.
if it was not for waxing, I would for sure have a unibrow back in the old country. Like for
Rick,
sure.
99.9 Ashkenazi Jew himself. I'm
Yeah,
like
well, yeah,
0.9.
yeah.
So I have 3% Black, I have 1% Ashkenazi. I'm a rainbow. Where Rick, when we did our DNA, he was 99.9 Ashkenazi Jew. There was no other things in there. Like I am like a rainbow, I'm 30% Native American, and so that's Mexican, it's Spanish and Indian mix. And then I have some other stuff in there, Asian and Black, and but a lot of people are Black, have
Yeah.
that.
So
So, but
so what you were saying was obviously you're in favor of absolutely the reckoning or whatever you want to call it of the movement, but not how it was financially handled.
I don't think I just think the way they financially handled it, and shoving it down everybody's throat, by the way. Like Nike and people coming out and like I felt like it was they didn't do anything for the Black community. And I thought it was mishandled. And it was.
I mean, we're all
So
in, I mean, I love the fact that you're very honest and open and own your opinion, which is something, and not to circle back to Housewives, which is what made you so popular on Housewives, where you were called the real housewife, which takes me back to what of you didn't they show that you wish they could have, which you look back and go, oh, why didn't you show this part of me?
I think they really didn't show how loving and caring I really am. They showed it. I felt like they kind of discriminated against me, and the way Orange County, as you know, is very, very Republican.
Mhm,
I'm not a Republican. Everybody knows I'm a registered libertarian.
mhm.
My views are liberal, gays and abortion. Go ahead. It doesn't bother me. But I'm fiscally conservative. And I feel like I was targeted and they made me look like I was a nut job. And
Mhm.
but that was on me. That they didn't like, but they showed all these things where they show those things on with Gina like flipping out. They showed like the caring, nice side. And there's a side of me that's very loving and warm and sweet. And I don't think that they showed that part of me. They
Is
showed
that
like
fro in
I think
is it was it frustrating at the time? And I'm sure it's still frustrating.
it's frustrating. It's frustrating that this is a reality show and you're not allowed to have your opinions.
Well, that's unfortunately welcome to 2025. Um, from the current cast, you have talked about that Shannon should be fired.
I do.
Why? Is it just what is it about her that you're like,
I
"Ugh, get her off the
I
show?"
I think Shannon is very fake. Just like Emily's very fake. And Shannon, I mean, those two are very, you know, they're very Republican. They're very, they won't say because they're afraid to get fired. They won't show exactly how they feel. They keep things to themselves. I don't feel like it's very like real. Shannon, when I see her on the show, Her nails are all screwed up all the time. She can go get her nails done. Her hair is a mess. She's not in shape. She dresses like she's like disheveled all the time. Her hair is a mess. It just she's messy. And I don't and she looks like, she smells like there's just something about she's just not put together, and she doesn't have any businesses. She's not, this is like her own, like her only thing. Her kids are out of school, they're off to school. She doesn't have a partner. I mean, there's nothing, there's no there anymore. I just don't think that there's any there. I don't think there's anything to watch anymore. Every time I watch her, it's depressing, it's yelling, it's screaming, it's crying, and it's negative, 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 negative. I don't want to turn on there's a negative stuff all around us on the daily. When I want to watch TV, I don't want to watch negative, negative, negative. It just brings the vibrations down. And when you are watch Shannon, she brings your vibrations down.
See, I like watching TV. I call it, I want candy. I want dessert. I don't want to, don't make me think. I have to think enough during the day. You now have such a fun, but I'm going to qualify this in a minute, situation in working with your husband, uh, Rick Leventhal, who's a journalist. You host a show called The Daily Smash on YouTube, Monday through Friday, and you have a podcast, The Rick and Kelly Show.
On Patreon.
When did this start? And I take the deep breath for a reason, because I have firsthand knowledge of working with another family member.
Oh,
And
well, I feel like,
who thought, by the way, who thought this was a good idea?
well, we both lost our jobs at the same time. Rick's was with Fox News for 25 years, and they didn't renew his contract. He didn't get fired from his job. He moved to LA. He was a New York based correspondent. He moved his way over here. They did move him. They didn't need him here in LA. They needed him in New York. So they didn't renew his contract. And it was probably partly me
As I say,
during
were you guys already together when he
we're
was living
already
in New
together.
York?
Yes, and I made him, I'm sorry, I thought Rick turned that off. Um, I made him move here because I had a daughter. I didn't want to live in New York. And they said, yeah, we'll move you over here, but let me see how it's at. So he thought he was going to get Tracy Gallagher's job, and Trace was going to move over there. And then it didn't. So they're like, we don't need you anymore. And so anyway, he didn't get his contract renewed. I didn't get my contract renewed. And we're like, let's just do what everybody else is doing. Let's do a podcast. I had at the time I had 900,000 followers, and on Instagram, and he was a journalist forever, and he had a following. So we're like, let's do a podcast together. Like, let's try it. So we did it, and it's been 5 years.
And now you also have the show on YouTube, The Daily Smash,
Daily Smash.
which is, what is that about?
Well, that's just about like everyday life, what's going on in the news, fun, silly stories. We try not to get political on there, just because it's just like politics does bring down the vibrations of
Mhm.
things. And like Jeff Lewis, he's just like, just stop talking about politics.
Yeah.
Just stop. He's like, no one wants to hear it. And it's not about, I think the whole COVID, I was never really political, I don't think. But the whole COVID thing, just the government control, because I lived in Hong Kong, I lived in China, and I saw what communism can do to, and not having freedom of speech and all these things. And I felt like that COVID, I felt like living back in Shenzhen, where we're not allowed to like talk or have freedom of speech. And so, it gave me an outlet to speak and talk. And but then we've realized that we can't always talk like that on the Daily Smash, but we love
Okay.
it. We have a following, and we enjoy it.
Okay. So I'm speaking from experience. There is no way you both get along and agree on everything creatively for the show.
No, we
How do
do.
you No, there is I mean, there is no way, because I worked with my mother for how many years?
But
And
mother and daughters are different. Rick, I don't, I think I
but
don't,
here's the thing, but you're in the power position because you can withhold sex to get your way. You can be like, "Honey, I don't think you're right. Let me sleep on it." And then, be like, and suddenly he's gonna wake up and be like, "Honey, you're right. You're right."
I actually don't really argue with Rick. Like, cause he's been in the business for so long. I take his lead. I mean, I might say, hey, like, no, I want to do this, but 10 out of 10 times he's correct. And he tries to protect me from myself. And he's most of the time correct. And so I kind of pull back. I kind of shut up. I know it sounds weird, but
But it's not your personality to do that either, which is fascinating.
yeah, I don't know. I trust him, I think.
Oh, I trusted my mother. I didn't trust what was gonna come out of her mouth on air, and I
Right.
spent quite a lot of time in HR, but nonetheless.
This is on E?
Oh, yeah.
I can't
Oh,
believe, but don't you notice that E and all of those, they used to be so much fun to watch, like Talk Soup,
used to be
things.
fun.
It used to be fun, and, when you when you're with your mom, what was it?
On
The
the red carpet and fashion police.
Fashion
Well,
Police,
I think
you can't do that now.
no, you're not allowed to have fun. That's why I say you can't have fun anymore. Like, stop having fun. You're not allowed to do that. But my mom and I would get into it.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
you know, and it was always like, when it's your mother or your spouse, you can't turn around and say, "I'm gonna call my agent." That it doesn't hold water.
Yeah. I
Like,
think Rick and I get along so well that I feel like we're one person. It's weird. We don't fight, we don't get into it, I mean, like, we'll get in disagreements, of course, just like everybody else, but we it feels like we're just like one person. We don't fight over our working together. It's like it's easy.
okay, I'm about to find out if this is the truth. I'm gonna separate fact from fiction because you're gonna find part 2 of our conversation on Rick and Kelly.
Yes, thank you.